Bismillah. Okay. Let us start inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى أهله وأصحابه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي اللهم أخرجنا من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمنا بنور الفهم وافتح علينا بمعرفة العلم وسهل أخلاقنا بالحلم وجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه اللهم اجعل أعمالنا خالصة لوجهك ولا تجعل فيها حظا لغيرك وصل اللهم على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How's everyone today? Alhamdulillah. We have our slideshows back. Alhamdulillah. I did upload the one of last week. Despite the fact that we didn't use it, I hadn't prepared, so I uploaded that if you want to access it for whatever. Okay, so we're moving on with Sarf bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Where did we end of last week? What was the latest concept that we learned? We were learning the present tense scale or the mudari' scale, right? So before we revise that, we're just going to do some revision on the past tense scale. So everybody, bismillah, say it with me. فعل فعلوا فعلت فعلنا فعلت فعلتم فعلتن فعلت فعلنا. One more time. Okay, not one more. فعلت فعلنا فعلت فعلتم فعلتي فعلتن فعلت فعلنا. One more time. فعل فعلوا فعلت فعلنا فعلت فعلتم فعلتي فعلتن فعلت فعلنا. Now I know as we're going along with this thing, your brains are becoming less engaged while we're actually saying it, isn't it so? You're like just saying فعل فعلوا فعلت. You're not thinking of what it means, right? That's a good thing, alhamdulillah, because it means that it's becoming ingrained. But that's why because I knew as we go along, your brains are going to become less engaged, as we said. That's why I asked you to do the whole pointing thing, right? So, inshallah, that doesn't become any less important. Let's say this one, fataha. What does fataha mean to? To open, right? Say that spell for me. Fataha, fatahu, fatahna, fatahta, fatahtum, fatahti, fatahtunna, fatahtu, fatahna. Right. Let's see, what's the next word we have here? Daraba. Say it for me, everybody. Daraba. ضربوا ضربت ضربنا ضربت ضربتم ضربتم ضربت ضربنا. ضرب means to hit, right? نصر to help. Say it for me. Bismillah. نصر نصروا نصرت نصرنا نصرت نصرتم نصرتي نصرتن نصرت نصرنا. Right, so after we learned نصر, which meant to help, we learned فتح ضرب نصر. And then we changed something. That was what? What's it that we changed? The haraka on the middle letter down, not the middle. Just tell me the haraka on the middle letter. Only the haraka, right? And we said that doesn't, of necessity at this point in time, for all our intents and purposes, cause a uniform change in the meaning, right? It's just that it can be different, right? And we said that we're gonna eventually learn how to do that. Have you done any dictionary work with Mawlana Khalil yet? You haven't done any. So inshallah we'll see whether he does it or I do it, right? But then we moved on. We came across the verb sami'a. So say that for me, everybody. Sami'a means to hear. Everybody say it for me. Sami'a, sami'u, sami'at, sami'na, sami'ta, sami'tum, sami'ti, sami'tunna, sami'tu, sami'na. Right. And then the next one was what? Hasiba. Hasiba means to think, right? Say that scale for me. Hasiba, hasibu, hasibat, hasibna, hasibta, hasibtum, hasibti, hasibtunna, hasibtu, hasibna. And the last one we learned was karuma. Karuma meant to be generous, right? So say that scale for me quickly. Karuma, karumu, karumat, karumna, karumta, karumtum, tunna, karumtu, karumna. Right. And those were like those 6 scales that we learned: fataha, daraba, nasara, sami'a, hasiba, karuma. You might not see its importance now, but actually you may see it today. Those are like our 6 base scales. Because with their counterparts, with their present tense counterparts, they form all the variations of a present tense. They form all the variations of verbs that you can get. But we'll see at the end of this class, inshallah, I'll show you what I mean by that, right? Thereafter we moved on to the present tense scale. And how did the present tense scale sound? Everybody say it for me quickly. So, all together. Bismillah. Everybody together. يفعل, يفعلون, تفعل, يفعلن, تفعل, تفعلون, تفعلين, تفعلن, أفعل, نفعل. Yeah, I want you to do the pointing with this one, right? You're going to confuse yourself. Everybody said for me again. And listen, the most tricky one in the scale is the present, is the plural, the feminine plural in the third person. يفعلن. Because you must go from ta to ya over there. Right? Okay, everybody say it for me. يفعل, يفعلون, تفعل, يفعلن, تفعل, تفعلون, تفعلين, تفعلن, أفعل, نفعل. One more time. يفعل, يفعلون, تفعل, يفعلن, تفعل, تفعلون, تفعلين, تفعلن, أفعل, نفعل. Right. So we said that there were some similar things in this scale. The first one is that this one here, يفعلون and تفعلون look very similar. That was not maybe the greatest choice of color. But يفعلون and تفعلون, they look very similar. But one starts with a ya, one starts with a ta. The one with the ya is always they. The one with the ta is you. Right. The same can be said of يفعلن and تفعلن. The only difference is one starts with a ya, one starts with a ta. The one that starts with the ya is they, and the one that starts with the ta is you. Right. Okay. Then the one that was not highlighted there was تفعل over there and تفعل over there look exactly the same. تفعل over there and تفعل over there look exactly the same. In terms of form, you can't differentiate them. They do look exactly the same. Right? So if I just give you them in an abstract form, I tell you, what's the meaning of تفعل? What are you going to tell me? You're going to tell me it either means she is doing, or it means you, one male, is doing. Can you ever tell me, no, it means this one as opposed to that one? No. Not if it's free of any context. But if it's in a context, then the context will tell you whether it's she, one female, or you, one male. The context will tell you whether it's she, one, she is obviously one female, or whether it's you, one male. The context will tell you that. There's nothing in the form that distinguishes between those two. Right? So you just must, all that you must know is basically, you must know that taf'alu and taf'alu are the same there. And when I see the word in a context, I have to ask myself, does it refer to you, one male, like I'm talking, is there a direct person being spoken about? Or is it a female? And that's the only way you're going to know the difference between those two. So for all intents and purposes, everything else in this scale stays the same, like with the previous scale. So if we said at the beginning that in Sarf, we are looking at the change in form of a word and how that change in form causes a change in the meaning. Right? So the change that we learned last week is going from fa'ala to yaf'alu. Now I'm not going to go word for word and highlight all the differences, because it's going to include adding stuff at the beginning, adding stuff at the end, and changing harakat, and that may make it like worse. It's not going to be of any benefit, right? What you must just know is There's a change from fa'ala to yaf'alu. That change in form does cause a change in meaning. What is the change in meaning that it causes? It only changes the tense. Fa'ala and yaf'alu are the same in every respect other than the tense. Yaf'aluna and fa'alu are the same in every respect other than in the tense. Fa'ala meant he did. Yaf'alu means he is doing or he will do. Right? We said it can mean both present and future, but to make things constant amongst everyone here, we are going to use the present tense. He is doing. Right. So are there any questions in relation to that? We're just learning the scale. Okay. So, before we move on, I'm going to check some words on the board. You tell me what it means. But before we do that, I want to ask you, what are the steps that we went through with the past tense verb? We first just learnt the scale fa'ala, right? And then after that, what did we do? We changed the root letters, right? And then after changing the root letters, what did we do? We just looked at the fact that the haraka on the middle letter can be different. And that was it. Those are all the changes we learned, right? We first learnt fa'ala and the various changes in the ending. That was the first thing we did. The second thing we did was we changed the root letters, like we went from fa'ala to fataha, daraba, nasara, right? And then the last thing that we did was we said that the haraka on the middle letter can change. So we got sami'a, hasiba, and karuma. And that's essentially all that we did. The rest was revision and repetition. So for this present tense scale, we're going to do exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. So we learned the scale now. We're going to identify that just like with a past tense verb, we can change the root letters, and the haraka on the middle root letter doesn't have to be a, it can be something else as well. And that's in sum total what we want to do about this scale. That's why I told you, if you pay attention to the initial changes, the changes as we go down the scale is all uniform. It's all uniform. Exactly the same. So let's see. First I'm going to chuck some words on the board. You tell me what it means. She is doing. She is doing. Taf'alu. It's not as quick as fa'alat. She is doing. Yaf'alu. He is. Yeah, really put it on the board. See, I want to make the thing fancy when with all these animations and now it like catches up to me. Yaf'alna. They, many females, are doing. Whenever you see the short na, you know it's many females. They, many females, are doing. That noon actually has a name. We call it noonun niswa. The noon of a group of females. So whenever you see that short noon, you know it's referring to many females. You might just now see, is it they many females or you many females? That's all. Are doing, okay. Fa'alu. She is doing? Yeah, you must say all of them now. You don't know which one it is. It's she is doing or you one male are doing. Right. يفعلون. Una. Like when we say, like I said with the short na, if you see the short na, then you know it's a group of females. If you have una, you know it's many males. But you need to check, is it they or is it you? So which one is this? It starts with a ya, so it's they. They many males. They many males what? Are doing. Right. Taf'alina. You, one, female. Right. Are doing. Taf'aluna. You. Wow. Remember I said una, you already know it's many males. You, many males are doing, right? تفعلن. You already know it's many females, there's a short noon there. But taf, is it they or you? You, many females are doing, right? نفعل, we are doing, okay, good. يفعلن, they, many females are, okay, yeah, خلاص, bismillah, that's enough of that. Okay, now before we move on, I want you to just partner up quickly. And then you say the scale to your partner, let the partner say the scale to you. And then maybe ask them one or two random words. We're going to move on, inshallah, to the next part of it. If you don't know it out of your head yet, you can use your page or whatever, but do it, bismillah. I'm going to put it on the board here for you. Okay, can we move on? Okay, let's move. Attention, attention, attention. Bismillah. Right. Okay. So now, listen. With the past tense verb, when you wanted to change the root letters, right? It was very, very simple. Because all of the root letters were right at the beginning. Fa'ala, fa'alu, فعلت, فعلنا, فعلت, فعلتم, فعلتي, فعلتن. The root letters of the fa, ain and lam, it was all at the beginning, nice in one little bunch. And so it was very easy to do that. Here we sometimes have something attached at the beginning. Actually, we always have something attached at the beginning, and we have something attached at the end. Though the root letters are still together, actually. Later it changes a bit. So what do we do here? We first need to identify the root letters, fa, ain and lam, and then we replace them with our new set of root letters. So our example that we're using here is sami'a yasma'u. Now, we're starting off with yaf'al, right? What are the root letters there in yaf'alu? The fa, the ain, and the lam. The fa, the ain, and the lam. The ya is part of the template. Remember the analogy with the fa'ala, that's like your, what you want to call your muffin tray. Now the ya is part of the muffin tray. So that is going to stay there. The harakat, the same as well. It's going to stay there. So the first one's going to have a, the second one's going to have a sukoon. When I say the first letter, it's always going to have a fatha. The second letter is always going to have a sukoon. But now tell me, the second letter is actually the first root letter. Right? Let me say it again. The second letter, you see fa is the second letter, but it's actually the first root letter. The ya is part of the scale. Right? So be cognizant of that. Then the third letter here is actually my second root letter. So here currently that one has a, but we know what's going to happen there, right? What's going to happen over there? Second root letter, same like we had the past tense. What do we say about the harakah of the second root letter in the past tense? I can change, right? Like we had, actually sami'a was sami'a. Fa'ala or fataha. But inshallah we'll first leave it down as a. And the last one will have a u. Right. So I have yaf'alu, yasma'u. Now say that scale for me. I was actually going to go through it with you. Okay, so what's the next word going to be now? Yaf'alu, change to yasma'u. So the next word is yaf'aluna. What's that one going to change to? Yasma'una. Right, then what's it going to mean? They. Wait, firstly, what does it mean? They, many males, are hearing. Okay, so the next one is taf'alu. It's going to change to what? Tasma. Okay, now you want to go through all the words or do you want to just say the scale? Let's say the scale. Let's first see. Let's go for the bismillah. Everybody, the scale now starts. Yasma'u. Everybody say the scale for me. Yasma'u, yasma'una. Tasma'u. You see? Say it again quickly. Yasma'u, yasma'una. Tasma'u. Yasma'na. Remember, you must go from starting with a ta to starting with a ya, because that's yaf'alna. Yasma'na. Okay. Let's see. You see there? There's it. Yasma'na. Everybody say it for me. Just say the scale for me again, please. Bismillah. Yasma'u, yasma'una. Tasma'u, yasma'na. Tasma'u, tasma'una. Tasma'ina, tasma'na. Asma'u, nasma'u. In all of those, what did I do? The only thing I did is I changed the fa, the ain, and the lam with a new set of root letters. What was the set of root letters? Sin, mim, and ain. Say, everybody say that scale for me again quickly. Yasma'u, yasma'una. Tasma'u, yasma'na. Tasma'u, tasma'una. Tasma'ina. Tasma'na. Asma'u, nasma'u. Right. Now, okay, you may be thinking, hey, it's getting like more confusing now, and more stuff I have to think about. Don't worry, you'll see systematically. If you repeat the scale enough times, the fixed parts of the scale, and the fixed parts of the meaning will just spring to your mind. Right? And then all you need to think about is, what are the root letters? What is the action that I'm speaking about? Like when I think about the word nasma'u, what does it mean? So quickly you could tell me we. How come? Because you already got that nasma'u, from naf'alu, which you know is we. What if I say asma'u? I. So quickly you could tell me I. Is it past tense or is it present tense? So quickly you can tell me present tense, because you know if it starts with a, it's present tense. So you already know it's I am doing something. All that you need to think of, what is it that I'm doing? Now you tell me, what are the root letters? Sami'a. You know the root letter sami'a because you learned it in the past tense. What does it mean? To hear. So I am doing something. What is the something that I'm doing? Hearing. Asma'u, I am hearing. Yasma'na. Yasma'na, yaf'alna. They, many females. Is it past tense or present tense? Present tense, because there's something attached at the beginning. So you know it's they, many females, are doing something. What are they doing? Hearing. Okay. So we just go down the scale like that. Taf'alu becomes tasma'u. Taf'aluna becomes tasma'una. Taf'alina becomes tasma'ina. Becomes tasma'na. Af'alu becomes asma'u. Naf'alu becomes nasma'u. And then we get a new scale. Yasma'u, yasma'una. Tasma'u, yasma'na. Tasma'u, tasma'una. Tasma'ina, tasma'na. Asma'u, nasma'u. Okay. What other root letters did we learn? Let's take fataha. Fa'ala to fataha. So how does the scale sound now? From yaf'alu now becomes yaftahu. If you can say the first one, the rest of the changes are uniform. So say it for me. Yaftahu, yaftahuna. Taftahu, yaftahna. Taftahu, taftahuna. Taftahina, taftahna. Aftahu, naftahu. You want to learn another one? Okay, let's take root letters. Okay, let's just look at our root letters, please. Firstly, before we move on, does everybody understand what we did there? What did we do? We just took the fa, ayn and lam, as I showed you here before. We just took the fa, ayn and lam, and we replaced it with the sin, mim and ayn. When we did fataha, we took the fa, ayn and lam, and we replaced it with the fa, ta and ha. When we took the what is the last one we did now? We did yasma'u and yaftahu. Yeah, those are the only two that we did now, right? All that we did is we replaced the one set of root letters with a different set of root letters. Everything else stayed the same, isn't it? All the harakat, everything else stayed the same, isn't it? Right? Did anybody change anything else? Because if you change anything else, then I don't know, you're doing your own thing. I didn't tell you to change. Right? Okay. What's that time? What's that time? Okay. That's actually time up, but anyways. So now, just because this is there's some of this in your homework. Sorry, I'm going past where I wanted to be. Okay. If we look at our list of verbs, past tense verbs that we had, right? We had fa'ala, daraba, fataha, sami'a, nasara, karuma, hasiba. Right? What happened there? We changed the haraka on the second root letter. Right? We changed the haraka on the second root letter. We didn't do it. I just informed you that that's how you say the word. But we know that haraka on the second root letter wasn't fixed. It wasn't fixed. Now the same can be said. So essentially this is your form. Your muffin tray looks like this. Fa. Ain with something on it. We not sure exactly. And then la. So it can be fa'ala, fa'ila, fa'ula. Right. Now the same thing goes for the present tense. The same thing goes for the present tense. Before you look at the words on top, the first one says yaf, alu. The second one says what? Yad, ribu. So daraba changes to yad, ribu. Fataha stays yaf, tahu. Yes, ma'u. Yan, suru. Yah, sibu. Yak, rumu. What am I showing you there? So we learned two things today. Number one, with a present tense scale, I can change the root letters. The second thing is, just like with the past tense verb, the haraka on the second root letter is not fixed. It can be a, it can be a I, it can be a U. Right. Now look here. Second root letter. Second root letter, second root letter, second root letter, second root letter, second root letter. All of those are the second root letters, right? If you're counting just the letters, then it's the third letter. But if you're looking at the root letters, then it's the second root letter. Right? Why I like to have you focus on the second root letter is because then that rule is the same for the past tense and the present tense. Right? So this is essentially how your muffin tray looks. Yaf, ayin with something on it, and lu. Right? Either it's yaf'alu, or it's yaf'ilu, or it's yaf'ulu. Right. So, let's take one example here. Let's take yadribu. Daraba becomes yadribu. Now say that scale for me. Yadribu, yadribuna. Tadribu, yadribna. Tadribu, tadribuna. Tadribina, tadribna. Adribu, nadribu. Want to take a different one? Let's see, what's that? Yansuru. Nasara means to help. Okay, so say the scale for me. Yansuru. Yansuru. Yansuruna. Tansuru. Yansurna. Tansuru. Tansuruna. Tansurina. Tansurna. Ansuru. Nansuru. So you see, if I change the second root letter in the first word, then it changes. That change stays right throughout. Right. Okay. Now, isn't there a question? Don't you have a question for me? How come Nasara changed to Yansuru, but Daraba changed to Yadribu? How come Sam became Yasma'u? You see, the one in past tense has a kasra, but in present tense it has a fatha. The one Daraba had a fatha in the past tense, but it has a kasra in the present tense. Nasara had a fatha in the past tense, but it has a dhamma in the present tense. You see that? Now for now, you mustn't know that. Right? Don't worry about that. Inshallah, next week I'll explain to you that. Right? For now, I don't want you to focus on it. For now, I want you to trust me. Right? For now, I want you to trust me. So that, why do I want you to trust me? So that we can just let the scale sink into our mind in its various forms. And next week we'll look at why. Right? So, I want you to just trust me. That this is how you say the first word of each of these scales. Let me just go back. Don't worry about the stuff flying off the board. That this is how you say those scales. Fa'ala becomes yaf'alu. Daraba becomes yadribu. Fatah tahu. Sami'a becomes yasma'u. Nasara becomes yansuru. Hasiba becomes yahsibu. And karuma becomes yakrumu. Why does each one change to that form? Don't worry about it. Right? You make yourself stress about nonsense. For now, you must just know that we learned two things today. What are the two things that we learned today? I can replace the set of root letters with a new set of root letters, even for the present tense scale. And the second thing is, the haraka on the second root letter can be anything. A, I, or U. That's it. Right. Why they change in a specific way, any other stuff, is not the focus of today's lesson. Right. So what are we gonna do for homework, inshallah? The first thing I want you to do is, I have written out, I have made scales here with 10 blocks each. I want you to take each of these words. We learnt all of these words already. Right? I want you to write down the scale for each of them. You see, I knew that you're going to ask me, oh, you just put it on the board. How am I going to remember all of the middle harakat of all of those words? How am I going to remember that daraba is yadribu, and hasiba is yahsibu, and nasara is yansuru? So I did this. I made this page for you that has the first one of all of those. Right? Then, what I want you to do is just write down the scale. So yaftahu, the next one you're going to write. Yaftahuna, taftahu, yaftahna. You just write that down for me. I just want you to have these scales written out. I could have printed it out for you, but then you wouldn't have had any homework to do. And I think with that effort you actually learn. You know, the Imam Shafi has a poem that says, "Usbur ala murril jafa min muallimi." You must just bear with that, you know, that harshness from your teacher. I'm not even harsh, yo. Anyways, فَإِنَّ رُسُوبَ الْعِلْمِ فِي نَفَرَاتِهِ, because that knowledge sinking into your brain, it's in the difficulties that your teacher puts you under. Right. So, there's my difficulty in putting you under. Just write down the scales of each of these ones. And then, on the following page, as we've been doing all the time, just translate from English to Arabic. But now there's more things you need to consider. What do you need to consider? You need to consider the tense in terms of your translation. You need to consider the root letters. And you need to consider who's doing the action. Right. If you want, you can even write down the words with the translations. That's up to you. I just want to see that you got the Arabic scale down. Right. Okay, any questions before we end off? Everybody good? If not, the lines are always open to ask questions. You can ask whenever you want to, but don't stay with the problem, inshallah, right? We end there for now. Actually, before I end, one thing I wanted to say. Like I told you with fa'ala, when we started this, I told you there's two scales that have extreme importance. Those two scales are fa'ala and yaf'alu. Revise them, revise them, revise them, revise them, revise them. You will not be sorry in your journey of Arabic. The fa'ala scale and the yaf'alu scale. You must know that. And that's why I say, you know, you will get rewarded just like you get rewarded for saying Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. You will get rewarded for saying your scales after your salah. Why? I just made that time because you have to make salah anyways. But why? Because just as that is a means, saying Alhamdulillah, Subhanallah, Allahu Akbar, is a means to your temporary remembrance of Allah in that moment, your yaf'alu, taf'alu, and fa'ala, and whatever, that is a means to you understanding the message that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent for you. Right? So please do it, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us, and the journey will become easy, bi-idhnillah ta'ala. We're in there for now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.